Welcome back, guys. Or if you just watched the last episode, I wasn't away for long. What we're going to do, we're going to start just recording some of the engine bay work today. So I've done a separate, I know you guys are struggling to see the board, but we're doing this separate side today. I've made a kind of separate note of what's still to be done on the engine bay to tidy things up and get things working properly. We've got vacuum pipes, pod filter, hopefully. The UFO, I suspect needs some attention and cleaned. If you don't know what that is, we'll get you in there and we'll show you. We're going to need to try and source a battery tray. I don't actually have that yet. Mine's is corroded, it's too far gone, so we need to try and get one of them and get the battery in, and then hopefully we can spark it up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you want to go back and see some of our other videos, you'll see what's happening on this Super Turbo series and some of the other things that we're doing. If you guys have been here before, thanks very much for coming back. As usual, if you could like and subscribe, it helps the channel grow and it helps me to be able to get some more content and some of these cars back on the roads where they should be. Give them a bit of loving. So stick with us, guys, and you'll see how this engine episode plays out. Okay guys, so we're in the engine bay now. Just to give you some context, I already stripped some of this out before I decided to start making some videos. So the air pipe, the intake, most of the intake system and stuff like that's been taken apart because of what I suspected. What I said in the video was vacuum lines. So there's a bulk of kind of like spaghetti junction down in there, the vacuum lines. You can see the colour. There's been some sort of coolant leak in there. There's a Jubilee clip down in there. Sorry about the light there, guys. There's a Jubilee clip there, which isn't standard. And there's one in the back there, and you can actually see the clip that's supposed to be on is sitting just further down the pipe. So I suspect that coolant pipes had a leak, and that's why it's all kind of orangey and stuff in there. So that's the area we're going to give some attention to, is those vacuum lines. It just takes for one of them to be perished or have a slight leak or anything like that. It can cause the crossover problems that we're having. Well, it's either crossover problems or just straight up problems. Just don't think we're getting the boost properly and it's not changing over from the supercharger to the turbocharger. I mentioned about the UFO, that's the little UFO shaped gadget there for crossing over. So they're notorious for kind of getting blocked and stuff. Sorry about my hand. You can see one of the clips is already off. So there could be something there, so we're going to clean that out. We're going to replace whatever. These vacuum hoses are very old. You can see that they're all starting to perish and stuff. So it could just be one that we can't see that's kind of too far gone, causing us issues. So the easiest thing is just to try and replace them all. We've got some rolls of vacuum pipe here. They're not exactly the same, but the internal diameter is the same. External walls are a wee bit thicker, but shouldn't make a difference. There'll be a couple of things to pay attention to when we change these over. I maybe won't change every single one of them, but we'll hopefully remove every single one of them and at least have an inspection. If I can, I'll change as many as I possibly can just to try and eliminate that fault. So we're going to crack on with this. I'll position the camera and then we'll get this piping and stuff out of the way, because I think it's going to get into it. To get down in there, it's just going to be easier to remove this, so as we can see, because we don't want to confuse and mix all these vacuum pipes up. So we'll position the camera and then we'll get going. When stripping down, I've inspected, repaired or replaced any vacuum line that needed done. I removed the bypass valve to gain full access to the vacuum lines that run across the back of the engine. I've marked all the vacuum lines using nail polish to make sure we don't get any lines mixed up when reassembling. During the process, I've noticed that a number of boost hoses were torn and needed done at the same time. I've robbed the pod filter off the Nissan Pulsar GTIR to use it to achieve the honk noises. However, the adapter was the wrong fitment and it was very poorly made. If I recorded in the last video about the fact that when I was tracing the vacuum pipes, there's a plug down there for the supercharger. You can just see that yellow wire there in the orange plug. It was sitting in place, but it wasn't clipped in, so it could actually have been my problem all along. And we didn't need to strip this, but we're here now anyway, so we're just going to record and put this back together, and then hopefully we'll get it fired up. Okay guys, just to bring it over here, so this is the airflow meter, and this is the one we took off the Pulsar GTIR, and you can see the holes don't line up, so it's slightly different, although they look the same, it's slightly different. Plus it's crap anyway, so we had this one made up a lot better. We'll get it painted, but for now that one's going to make up nice, and that's going to house our pod filter. Now this one did have a little rubber, the old one, so we're going to make her just a paper gasket. As you'll see here, there's a paper, so we're just going to cut and make a paper gasket just to make sure there's no unfiltered air seeping in there. So we're going to do that just now, and then we'll get this fitted and hopefully get the pod filter. So simple, we'll just run around it with a pen, great, and then we'll just cut it out with a small Stanley blade. Back again guys. Just stopped that video there because the plate wasn't sitting properly. I thought I was going to have to take it off. Just actually went back into my photo album and just had a look over some of the photos from before stripping. This is why I always take them. The position I had the airflow meter in there, I had it like kind of pointing up the way and it was fouling, so I looked at the old photos, and so we've rotated it clockwise. It gives us more clearance, and then this fits in. After making the adjustments to secure the intercooler bracket on, you'll notice I've used the wrong degree of boost hose. I didn't pick up that it had a slight bend on it, and I've replaced it with a straight one. So we've had to just keep the bracket off just now so that we can get the car running, and we'll rectify that later. At this point, the anxiety started to kick in a little bit when connecting up the battery, just in case I'd done something wrong, but yeah, here goes. Fuel pump. Oh. I think that could be because we've not plugged the O2 sensor back in for the exhaust. It's not running properly. She's not happy. The boost gauge before wasn't working properly. When you put your foot down, the boost was going the other way, so we've fixed something. It actually feels a wee bit more responsive on the pedal. a wee bit smoky in there, guys. I'm assuming we've sprayed some stuff in there, and I'm assuming it's just burning off. Quick note there, guys, I plugged in the O2 sensor secondary one, so I'm hoping that the light's now off. Let it prime. Yep, so the exhaust light's off. I don't know if that's going to help it, it shouldn't, because it should just be reading whether or not the cat's working, because it's a downstream one, so it just reads the difference between 1 and 2 to make sure that your emissions control's working. So I think we should still be running a wee bit lumpy. It was just a wee bit rough, it maybe just cleaned through old fuel or something. It's just, it's no, that's pretty quick, it's dropping down there. It's a wee bit rough, there's something just no 100%. Just going to let it tick over for a wee bit. We're no happy at all now, guys. We'll just try and get a wee bit of throttle. Here, there. Got a wee issue somewhere. So back to the drawing board.